Hello and welcome along to the channel today, and today you join me for my review of the Mania Pinhole camera by Rothman. Now this is made in Germany by Rothman. He sent me this, I didn't buy it. He sent it for me to use and to put my thoughts and opinions together on it. I've used it quite a bit. I was up in the Lake District with it, I was over in Oxford with it. And today we're going to explore a little area around here and see what we can do with it. So this is the 4x5 basic kit with a couple of extensions for different focal lengths, so we'll be going through that in a bit. And yeah, I've got a load of foam pan 400. I have also got this front for it as well, which this is kind of what makes this whole camera system quite unique in its own way. So we're going to be exploring that a little bit and capturing some images along the way. So it has a couple of bubble levels on it, one on the side and one on the top, obviously to help keep the camera nice and flat when doing your compositions. The shutter system on this is also nice and simple. It reminds me a little bit of the zero image shutter system, but it's certainly one that works really well. It's nice and basic and does the job without too much fumbling around. So one of the features on this camera is the ability to change focal lengths. Some nice magnets, front plate comes off. One, two. Now changing focal lengths on a pinhole camera is certainly not unique to this. Zero image do it and reality so subtle do it. It makes the camera certainly more flexible. Now this one you've got 35mm, nice and magneted, 55 and 75, and then you just slap the front plate on. The magnets are fantastic, make life a lot easier. Zero images are held together with plastic bands, and then film holder in the back, and again snap it on. Now, composing an image is pretty simple. It's got these little dots marked on it from here to here, depending on the focal length you're using. So it's pretty easy to line them up. You do also get this, which is a bit of a block of wood, which gives you all your apertures, shutter speeds, and the appropriate conversions for if you're using a pinhole. So you can also use that to line up and go with it. I'm not really a fan of that. A lot of the companies will give you something like this, either on a keychain or a little card, but it works well, and if you want to use it to help you compose, it is there to do that as well. It's handy to know the different focal lengths for the three what I've got on this, but what I have done, let's just take this out, it's just right on the back. So 35mm is f175, 55 is 183, and 75 is 250. I find that a bit easier. I'm less likely to, I'm not going to lose that, so. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So far, the overall quality of this is absolutely fantastic. It is hand built, it is very nicely made. You've got the tripod mount on both the top and the bottom. Now, if you are using, say, a Polaroid back, you can then put some little knobs in there and use the elastic bands which are provided with it. If you're just using a normal 4x5 holder, then, like I've mentioned, you have this nice little magnetic plate. So inside the camera, it is all been painted black. I have heard mentioned before it'd be nice if it was maybe cleaned up a little bit. It is an expensive system, and just to see that tidied up a bit more would be quite nice. Each of the frames is also been painted individually to help avoid any light reflections in there. Now, the image quality on this for a pinhole camera is absolutely fantastic. The pinholes, from what I believe, are Reality So Subtle, which are generally considered to be the best pinholes available. So that, I think, has probably been an absolutely fantastic choice to go with that. So far, the images which I've captured with this camera, I've been absolutely blown away with. Really impressive, fantastic, absolute fantastic quality. Quite often you'll see on pinhole cameras with different focal lengths, they'll actually then change the pinhole for each focal length. This is because different focal lengths, the optimum pinhole size will change. Now, Ralph's not done this on this, and to be fair with you, I've shot this at 35mm, 55 and 75 and not actually seen any difference in quality from me. So I don't really see it being as much as a big issue to having to change it, and it's just one less thing to sort of faff about. So far, really impressed. Now, this does take filters. I'm a little bit unsure how they work, actually. I think it's that, and that little pin goes in there, which is held in by a magnet. But doesn't seem to sit right. Let's change the sun angle here. Also on the wide, I'm convinced that will be showing up, so I don't know if it's maybe sits down here. That might work. I think on the wide angle it's probably not. I'm not too sure. I need to look back on the instructions on that. But I think these are the little pins just to hold the filter in place. They do just hold in nicely anyway. But it may be better just to be able to wedge that in there with a bit of felt or something. Yeah, I'm not going to use that. I was using it, then I pulled the pin out and I almost lost my filter. So anyway, let's do a quick shot of this. One. Okay, so now I'm going to show you one of the more unique things about this camera, and that is this. This is a panoramic system. So you snap that on, you still obviously have your center shutter for whenever you need that. And these two are, how best to explain this? So I'll do a shot somewhere else, but I'm going to just quickly try and explain how this works. So this pinhole, you follow this line straight down on the edge of the camera, and then you get an image from here and then along here, depending on what focal length you're using. So that would do that. Then you would turn your film holder around and then capture another image from this side. So then you'd get an image from here and off down to there. So this is something that is completely unique about this system, to be able to do these twin shot panoramics. I did a few up in the Lake District, and it was quite nice to have them as two separate images with a little mount around them. I saw some people would merge them together, so you do get like a proper panoramic. But it's certainly something really unique about this camera. It is a fantastic feature. Obviously it's going to be quite expensive. You're using 2 sheets of film for a single shot at the end of the day, but yeah, it works, and it works well. I'm not quite sure what focal length works best at the moment. I think I've done one in the 35mm, which is incredibly wide. The 55 seems to work quite well. Obviously you are going to get a lot of vignetting on the edges because of the light drop off. You're obviously coming from a small distance here and then quite a big distance there, so the light will fall off from the edges. That's not something that really bothers me, but some people don't like it. So what we're going to do now, these are going to be my final 2 shots. We are going to find something which may work for this. I'm at a point where I'm not fully sure what works, but yeah, we'll give this a go. I'm pleased with a couple of shots I've had from previously, so we'll try and make something today for our final image for this video. Now admittedly I quite like this, and then you kind of get that split down the middle, so it's almost like 2 completely separate images but the same scene. However, the tide is out. I think if the tide was in, that would certainly be much more appealing, so I'll give this one a miss. I'll go have a look at some boats maybe. Right, so I've got this set up, hopefully straight down the middle there, and a nice little panoramic either side. So I've got about a 2-second exposure on each. So let's have a quick chat of what I really think of this system. Now, overall build quality is absolutely fantastic. You can see it has been made by someone who is very skilled and got a lot of passion. Shutter system is brilliant. It's simple, does what it's meant to do, it doesn't cause a problem. Yeah, fantastic. I love the little engravings on these, especially on the back with the Mania Pinhole by Rifleman. That I really like. Now obviously the features with this camera are the different focal lengths. I love the fact they're all magnetic. It makes life a lot easier. The changeable front panels likewise are a fantastic feature, and you can actually buy different front panels. So you can obviously get the panoramic system, you can get a rise system, so it's got the 3, and I think there's a few more as well. I'll leave all the links below on to his website so you can go check them out. Now also with this camera you can expand onto it. You can get a back for 6x17. So the idea of this system is you can basically buy one system which will do the absolute lot. It will do 4x5, it will do medium format with 6x17 backs, and then with that presumably you could do 6x12. Now price wise, this is the 4x5 basic, and I'm just having a quick look on the website, and that is €310. And with that you will get just a single frame. Wait. So that is what you'll get, along with the block and a few other little bits like that. The extra frames are about €67 each, I believe. So now this system is not cheap. It's an expensive system, but it is not mass produced. There's not going to be loads of these. Some people won't like the fact it is expensive, because it obviously goes, you know, Pinhole is meant to be quite cheap and affordable, but to have the option to be able to go for something like this, you can see the time and the quality that has gone into it. Now one of the things with buying from someone making pinhole cameras is you are not supporting a big company, you are supporting an individual. Just a Ralphman who is not got a team of people, is building up these presumably just by himself. So with that you are just supporting an individual who is got a passion for photography and a passion to keep film photography going. So it's a lot of money, but it's a fantastic system, and it's a system which is certainly going to last a long time, and if that appeals to you, then it's certainly a fantastic option, especially if you want the different focal lengths and the option to change your front panels and add a 6x17 back. It is a brilliant system. Now what don't I like about this? There is not much. I mean, obviously we've got this block of wood which does its job, and it just tells you the different focal lengths and different f-stops, which works. However, I don't want to be carrying this around with me all the time. This is something I will lose. With a camera like this, there's a lot to it, so it's easy to misplace stuff. So like I mentioned, I just wrote the bits I needed to know on the back, which was the aperture for the focal length. So that would be nice just to have maybe written all on the back of there, so it's just there with you all the time. The filter holder system, I've not quite got my head around yet with these. Again, these are something I'm probably going to lose. They slot in there nicely. I'm not fully sure on the filter holder system, so that's something I've got to look into before I say too much about it. But yeah, these again are something I lose stuff. If there's too much stuff, I will be losing things. So that's my only concern with these. There's nowhere really to kind of, they get in the way there, the bag and they get knocked. So something I feel will break with them. So overall, I'm really happy with this system. It is absolutely fantastic. The image quality is great to have. Again, the expansion packs onto this are brilliant. Now this won't be the last time I use this camera, so if you want to learn more and see more as I go along, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I will certainly be out and about with this again soon. Otherwise, go check out Ralphman's website and have a look at the options that he has available. These are, and there are some limited edition packs, so they're not always going to be readily available, so you might have to pre-order if you're interested. Otherwise, big thank you to Ralphman for sending this, really appreciate it. And yeah, like, subscribe, all the other stuff, and I shall see you next time. I'm out.